So you guys, today is simply 30 minutes of a mastermind to go over questions and share what's working for you, ask about things that are going on in your pod if you guys have any questions. Kind of what I addressed earlier in this week is like, we're all big kids. Like, we all own our own business. We're entrepreneurs. We're leaders. We have to figure it out. We have to fail our way forward. And I will be the first to admit, like, if I didn't see failure as more of a positive thing, I would not be where I'm at. So embrace failure, embrace the struggle, and just kind of have that figure it out mentality. And when you're paired up, like in pods, right? None of you guys know each other. This is all new. Forget the comparison game. Put your fear to the side. Don't worry about what other people think, and take the bull by the freaking horns and run, because you guys are all leaders. You are in this pod and we're all different personalities. And it really truly shows that as we lead a team, we all get people that are different personality types than us, right? We all have different coaches that are polar opposite from us, but we can all embrace and love one another and lift each other up in our strengths and utilize that. And that's what you can do in your pod. So if somebody's being more silent, then reach out to them, or by God, if you're the silent one, speak up. Like, just reach out, be a voice, and let your pod know what's going on and what you can do to help. So be proactive, because that's what we are as a leader. We're proactive in taking action and embracing the struggle along the way. So let's open it up for questions, talking about Success Club. How is everybody doing there so far?
How about a raise of hands? Who has hit Success Club 5? So we can see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So it's only April 8th, and things can happen so quickly in a day. I always tell my team, it seems that last day of the month is when the real coaches come out and really push hard, and that's when it really happens. So treat every day like it's the last day of the month, and you won't believe the traction you'll get just by, approaching it like April 30th. So put in the work now and teach your team to do that, because otherwise you're scrambling that last week. So this is when, ask questions, guys. If you're not at Success Club, you should have a question.
And that's what I all say. So you guys as leaders, so on your team call, when you have Q&A, you notice how everybody is quiet and silent. Like, I always say, like, awesome, you guys must be killing it in the business. You must be all at 10. You must be popping emeralds left and right, or else you wouldn't be on this call. Like, you come to this call with questions or something is going on in your business. Don't be afraid to share, because I guarantee you the question you have is the same question that somebody else is afraid to ask.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I'm not one to have, like, I've never been a huge Success Club point earner. So I feel like I spend a lot of the month like really forming and having good conversations, and I always hit Success Club at the end of the month. Sometimes Success Club 10, 9, 8, just depends. So I guess what my question is, and then I don't have a whole lot to really like kind of funnel me into the next month. So like, I guess what do some people do to kind of keep that like momentum going? I mean, it's not like I have great conversations and I have people to talk to and I invite, but it always just seems to take me a lot longer in the month to hit Success Club. And then I have to I feel like I'm starting over from scratch the following month, if that makes sense.
I love it. So, somebody else that is a higher Success Club point earner. So if you can typically hit like 15 Success Club points or higher in the month, would you speak up and share kind of what your plan is for the month each month in order to make that happen? And then Sarah and I can chime in, with our 2 cents on that, but we would love you guys to kind of powwow together.
So Christina Battaglia is on here. She always hits Success Club 10. Amy Jackson does. Sarah Steffen does. So guys, if you could just unmute, just give your principles, that would be awesome. I'm calling you out. That's what I do. Get off your phone, Sarah Steffen, and answer my question.
I have some tips if no one's gonna go yet.
Yeah, awesome. Go ahead.
Go, Brad.
I mean, first and foremost, I think it comes down to the number of conversations you're having. I think that's one of the things that I've experienced with higher numbers. Like the more people I reach out to, the higher the Success Club number, and the more likelihood that one of those conversations is going to get to the point where someone converts into someone that I can help. So besides that, what I've also done is I've structured my challenge groups to where they start on like either the second Monday of the month and the last Monday of the month. That way, like, it almost feels like a sense of urgency at the beginning of the month. And so I'm inviting the very beginning, I'm trying to fill that challenge group at the very beginning of the month, or at least the date that I'm advertising, right? And then the last thing is, I had a good one. I just like I tell my team, like every single day, like if it's like a Wednesday, like I basically pretend that Wednesday is the last Wednesday of the month, and like I have to put that sense of urgency behind it. So I like really try to hustle every single week to finish strong by Wednesday, and that's led to typically relatively high Success Club points.
So Brad, how many do you invite, would you say? Let's just say weekly, because I know every day is different, but just to give a spectrum of like how many you're inviting compared to what other people might be doing?
Yeah, I invite between probably 6 and 12 people a day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, some days are smaller, some days are 3, 4, 5, but yeah, the invites are up there.
And I would say to kind of chime in on that, like I experienced this last month, and it just goes to show you, like, we're always real. And I think, Bryn, I might have already shared this with you, but before I left for the cruise, like I was like, I'm going to have 10 locked in the bag. This is going to be, piece of cake. And, I got this. And I'd been doing probably anywhere from like 60 to 70 invites a week, following up, sending my hey girl messages, just checking in, like being super consistent on that. And nobody was pulling the trigger. And I was like, what the hell is happening here? Like what is going on? And I went into the cruise at 4 Success Club points. And I just thought like, okay, I'm going to step away. I'm going to enjoy the vacation, and I'm going to come back with a vengeance and attack this. And that I have to have a plan. And that's when I ran my event. I was super excited. I was super motivated. I invited my 500 Facebook friends and finished the month with 25 Success Club points. And what that led to was something new for me, something different, something I was excited about, something different than what I was already doing, but I was constantly trying to figure out how I could crush my goal. So it was just being proactive and figuring out what other options do I have for inviting that is not what I'm doing, because currently what I'm doing is clearly not working. And so that's the awesome part of this business and this mastermind group specifically, is that that's what we're here for, is like, okay, my invites that always seem to work for me were not working. And by connecting with other coaches and listening to what they had to share, I was able to try something different and put a new spin on things, and it worked for me.
Maybe just we can ask, I know it's a big thing about where do I find new people. I know I have a lot of coaches that ask that, and even as leaders, when your people come to me and say, where do I find people? What do you guys say? So
I guess I never had that problem. I seem like I always have a lot of people to look at, especially on Facebook. I mean, you're always adding new people. And I don't know, maybe they have, I think, how many can you get on Facebook? 5,000 or so friends?
5,000.
Maybe they're up to 5,000, but I'm not even up to 5,000. But I swear I feel like I have numerous amount of people. I mean, even if you just go back to your list and say, okay, I'm gonna start from Z again, and just go, and I may have skipped a few, but I swear it seems like I always have some people in the queue to reach out to. So I'm not sure if they're adding more people,
So
because I'm always adding.
When your team asks you though,
Yeah.
like, where do I find people? What do you tell them?
Add more people to your social media, to your Facebook.
And when they say how, what do you tell them? Do you tell them groups? Do you tell them friends of friends? Like, what are your action items that you tell
Well, you have the mutual friends. So you have mutual friends that already Facebook gives you, those mutual friends up there, and you just go ahead and click on those and just send them a friend request. I typically do about 4 to 5 a day.
Okay, cool.
Sarah?
Something that I do is I tell my coaches that, I mean, yes, we go on Facebook, we find our friends. I tell them to go into their friends, kind of find like maybe family members that they are, their friends' family members that they knew like growing up or whatever. But the other thing is I tell them to step outside of the house and the home and get out there in the world and build relationships. Go take your kids to the park. Go meet the moms. Put them on your Facebook page. Get to know other people. Go join a group in your church. There's so many ways of just being able to find them outside of Facebook to build a relationship and then add them to your Facebook page. Another thing I do is I do fit clubs, and fit clubs I always then invite people and have them, like, I make the announcements of these free fit clubs on Facebook and I put them in my neighborhood page, and people respond to that. So I've been able to add a ton of people in my neighborhood in that as well.
Something that I've done is with my team is whenever someone says that on my team, I'm a firm believer in this, and tell me if you guys disagree, but I tell them that if they're worried about the amount of people that they have, it's probably just that they're afraid of asking people they don't know to start a friendship, right? So so I always tell them, like, think about how these products have influenced your life. What have they done for you? You know, how has Shakeology influenced your life? This business influenced your life? And imagine for a second that it was all completely ripped away from you. How would that feel? And if you think about that, that tells you that, like, we don't have the right not to share this with someone. So all of a sudden, 200 Facebook friends has turned into 200 million people that are overweight or obese in this country. So I kind of tell them that every single person is a prospect if you have the courage and reach out and just start a friendship with someone.
That's awesome.
Sarah, I want to share this with everybody. This is Janice from Sarah Molnar's group. What I did was I went on and I posted a Shakeology challenge, and I asked people to, I said, I want you to feel as good as I feel. And I said, I'm going to test this, and you try this for 30 days. And if you don't like it, if you don't feel any difference, I just want to, so I'm opening it to, I'm creating an event, but I'm going to say 55 likes. And what I did was I reached out to all of those people, and last night I spoke to 20 of those people, and I sent them links to try Shakeology, and they're all wanted to try it. So I also gave them an option that they can purchase a challenge pack as well, because that's a better value than just the Shakeology. So I don't have anybody committed yet, but I had conversations with over 20 different people that I never even met until yesterday.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Something else I think that works too, I'm a big fan of bringing up like really old conversations, like bring up old conversations to the surface. I do not have the most organized skills. Let me just put that out there. So mine looks something like Facebook messaging, and I can go back to say like the month that I'm in, but a year prior. So like right now I'm on April 2015 messages, and I go back in and check in with them again, just to make sure they didn't get lost in the mix. A lot of times, like I've sent like some checking in messages for a while, and maybe they haven't responded, or maybe I missed them somewhere in the mix, but I will just reach out to them and always just be like that sounding board, always provide some sort of value and to check in with them. And it could be one of like your hey girl messages. It could be that when you go back to that message, you see that they had just got a membership at the gym. or maybe they just started working out with a personal trainer, whatever it is. And you just say, hey, last time we talked, I know you had just joined the gym and you had hired a personal trainer. Is that something you're still doing? How did that work out for you? Or how is that still working out for you? I hope you're doing well and I can't wait to catch up. So that really brings me a lot of traction too, is to just constantly bring up those really old conversations that might get lost in the shuffle along the way. And then that kind of like, it's somebody you've been connecting with, but you just haven't maybe had a connection with for a little bit. And at least you start kind of popping into their newsfeed a little bit more.
And that follow-up is like, I mean, I always say it's like 90% of the business. And I know how we send a message and we see the person sees it and they don't respond, and you flip out and you're like, just respond to it. Just let me know. So something I've taught my team that has worked really well is saying, hey, Sarah, I know you had said that this is something you might be interested in. I don't want to be a fly on the wall. You want to swap, but I didn't want you to think I forgot about you either. So you're reversing the blame, and then they feel bad, and then they respond. It's worked, I would say, 80 to 90% of the time, because then it's actually solidifying the end of a conversation. So for me, it's saying, I'm going to reach out one last time, just want to let you know I'm here. And a lot of times they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, because for us, Success Club is our number one priority. Their health and fitness, unfortunately, is not. So they read it and they think, oh yeah, I got to get back to her. But then they kind of forget about it and they don't realize a week has gone by, where we see it as, I sent you this message, you haven't responded. So using that little tagline has helped me and my team so much with follow-up. And don't be afraid to follow up with someone that you haven't even talked to since December. And don't make it like it's been that long. I always tell them it's kind of like, little kids don't realize how long we've been gone, whether it's 3 days or, a week. People don't realize, oh my God, well, the last time I talked to you was December. Most people don't look at the date of when you last talked. Hey, we're just trying to catch up. I have a new group starting. Is that something you're interested in? Or go back to people that have fallen off Shakeology. I've gone into last year's Success Club, the people that have, signed up as, challengers, lost coaches. I've printed that report and said, I know you had so much success in May of 2015. You didn't continue on the Shakeology. Is that something you'd want to participate in again? I know you had a passion for it. And that might give a spark. And that's exactly what happened to me this past month, is I had 6 people that were like, yes, I do want to get back in. They re-sign up with a challenge pack and they're good to go. You still get those points. So, there's so many different avenues of what you can do, and following up is so important. I would say just as important as inviting too. So that's some solid ideas for you.
You can also do that with your customer leads. I know that I've done a couple team calls on customer leads for different coaches, and so many people do not touch their customer leads. And so you can go back if you're feeling stagnant. Something else that I do to kind of just switch things up is to literally go into my business center and go to my customer leads and reach out to each of them and share with them the event and ask them to friend me on Facebook.
Is there a separate file just for that shows just your customer, or no, you go through your entire customer downline?
Yes. So I have, so every time for me that I've created, that I've reached out to my leads, I have a file for that. So mine are in a file as I've gone through, but you can go through and see, just invite all your customers, even if they're a new current customer. If you go through and like every 3 months, you're doing like a 30-day clean eating group, just to kind of spice things up, because come on, let's just face it, all of us are going to struggle with nutrition at some point in time, right? Like whether you're doing a program or not, it's always fun to participate with other people. So if you kind of plug that into the mix, you can go through and do an event for it, and then go in and invite all of your customer leads with like a copy and paste email that is personalized with you in the email, like your story, and just say, hey, I would love to help you, make some changes through your nutrition if that's something that you're struggling with, or if you would just like to have accountability and or switch things up. If you're interested, send me a Facebook friend request or private message me if we're already friends, and then that way I can plug you into the event. Because remember, you guys, those leads, let me just put this out here. Brad was a free customer lead of mine.
You lucked out there, huh?
Brad told me no numerous times. I was a diamond lead through the diamond lead program. So leads are a huge part of this business. And I think that so many people don't utilize the leads as much as they have power to give us. Those are free people that are assigned to us that are hungry. They're wanting something. And yeah, it could be a pain in the butt. A lot of times they don't reach back out to you. Brad didn't reach out to me. Brad, I'm using you as an example, but it's a perfect example because how many people are like that? You know, that she smelled bad. There are so many people that don't respond to those emails. They don't know who you are. So you have to be careful of what you put in your subject line, you know, and not say like, you know, your beach body or I'm your beach body coach or something like that. Like get creative. Like, are you struggling with your nutrition? Are you eating too much sugar? Or like say something like that. You know, so you kind of grab their interest and then personalize it. Just copy and paste your message and put their name like, hey, Susie, you might not be aware, but you actually were assigned a free coach. That's myself. I'm here to help you reach your health and fitness goals. I am just like you. I'm following my program. I'm working on my nutrition, my fitness accountability. But I truly love help inspiring others. And so that's why I decided to become a coach. I have an awesome 30-day cleaner eating group that we're getting started on. And I don't know if you'd be interested or if you struggle at all with your nutrition, but it'd be a great space for you to have awesome accountability and support. If you're interested, send me a friend request and or a private message through Facebook so I can add you to the event.
What about other questions?
Sarah?
Yeah.
I just have another thing. You ask everyone to do something outside of their comfort zone. And that really helped. Well, what I did was the other day I was in Wegman and I walked up to this lady. Actually, she was in my way and I couldn't get what I wanted out of the counter. And she was looking at bath products and we were talking about Epsom salts. And I started talking to her. She asked me about, and I started telling her about Shakeology. And she said she had fibromyalgia, and she, you know, had a hard time moving. She needed her joints fixed. And so I started talking about Shakeology and how it helps. And I think I have a customer with her. So that doing something outside of your comfort zone too. The other suggestion I have is to friend request all of the people that like your posts, and then look at their friends and friend request mutual friends that you may have with them. That's how I
keep a list. Make sure you guys keep a list. If you guys aren't talking, if you can mute. I don't know if everybody hears that feedback, or maybe it's just me, the fuzziness. But keep a list, because if you over invite, obviously on Facebook, they can shut you down. So keep a list and don't have a lot of open friend requests out, and message them also too.
Okay.
Sarah. Hey, I wanted to share something that I did for inviting this month, and also I kind of had a question because I'm not at Success Club yet this month. But so one thing that I did is I just really think about what is new or different in the business, or what do we have new that we can offer people. So like you said, going back to old, customers or people that you talk to that either they were a customer and participated in a group and they fell off the wagon with Shakeology, or, or they never did a group or anything like that. But with the 22-minute hardcore, I've been actually messaging a lot of people and bringing up the point that hey, especially because my demographic is kind of the stay-at-home mom or working mom or whatever. And I've had a lot of people who ask me, because they see on my social media my husband working out with me. So I've messaged a lot of people and been like, hey, this might be the program that will get your husband to work out with you. Mm-hmm. And so I've gotten a lot of interest in that when I've sent that message, and they're like, I'm going to talk to him about this. Because so if you think of what is something new, or how can I approach the invite differently as far as saying, hey, I just thought of you guys because I know that you said in the past you wanted your husband to do this with you, and this might be a program he'll love because, you know, it's short, it's military boot camp style, and I said moms love it because it's short, you know.
Yeah.
So just thinking of what, you know, how we can change up the invite so it's not just always something general, but like what could be a new, fresh idea that might interest somebody who hasn't been interested in the past.
Right.
That was kind of one of my little tips. And then I had a question because I've always run my business from a like page, and I know that it's everybody does it differently and has different opinions about it, and some, you know, it works well for some and not as well for others, but I've done it for about over a year and a half, and I have a pretty good following on there. And I got like a message in the inbox there, somebody who was interested in coaching, and I messaged her back, and then I started realizing she wasn't seeing my messages and there wasn't an option to friend request her. And I was like, literally, I'm like, how do I get in contact with this person? Luckily, I was able to find her on Instagram and message her there and get her email. But are you guys feeling like, or noticing things with Facebook as far as like sending friend requests and sending a message and feeling like they're never seeing it, and you just think, are there really like this many people not seeing my messages, or is there some like weird little Facebook loophole?
There is, and I'm going to show you because it was lost. I don't know if you guys have seen this circling around, but I'll show you as much as I can, or I'll walk you through it. So if you have an iPhone, this is something that I just discovered. Yes, sometimes we'll get that message at the top that we can say accept or decline, but there is another way, and I had 73 messages waiting from there. Some with guys with guns to their head, didn't respond to those, but there was a lot of other people that were interested in like challenge group from my like page. So if you guys have an iPhone, I'm sorry, it's not Droid. You go to your iPhone, you go under settings at the bottom, okay? Go under people, go under message requests, then you go under filtered and hit that. Boom. So there's messages there also. The best thing I can tell you, I get it when you can't friend request somebody. If they send a message on your like page, you can respond. But if you can friend request them, I'm trying actually to get away from all the friend requesting. Only because I realized that when you friend request all these people, then it's kind of, I mean, they'll see your stuff anyway, especially if you have it public. I 100% say push yourself to your public page. You are a Team Beachbody coach. It's who you are. When people see me now, and I'm not saying, I just said this to one of my coaches yesterday, I'm not saying you can't post things about your kids and make it private or whatever, but Facebook is your job. It's your social media. It's what we do as coaches. So when people see me now and they're like, oh my God, the beauty of Facebook. I mean, I know you use it for work. They know it's all about work, questions I've asked. So when you go on somebody's page and you can have the option to friend request them, it's up to you. What I've found that works better is, because there is that 5,000 limit, is I will write on their I will post on their page, hey, I sent you a message to follow up with you, check your messenger, because some people aren't on Messenger either. So if I send it that way and then we start making a connection and I say, hey, I want to pop you in one of my challenge groups for the day and you can see what it's all about, you got to send me a friend request or I can friend request you. Sound good? Because I feel like I was sending out all these friend requests and now I've lost touch with who I've been, like Jess said, you lose that organization. You work from a list, but sometimes you lose it. So if you post right on their page, Jess, did I just blow your mind? Did you find all these messages?
No, I am a little slow. So
did you get it?
So you went to Facebook and then you went to...
No. Go to your Messenger app. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Go to your Messenger app. Sorry, I should have said that, guys.
I thought it was Facebook.
Yeah, go to your Messenger app, click settings at the bottom. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go to people. You guys are all going to think I'm techie, and I'm so not. I just watched a video. And then go to message requests. And then it should say something in blue like filtered or whatever. Click that. So that's a way, Amy, to kind of, I'm going to tell you, like I tell my coaches, I don't know you, but I'm treating everybody on here like they're my coaches. Get away from your like page and start posting on your public page and make sure the post is public. It's scary. You got to rip the Band-Aid off, but it exposes you to everyone. And then you can go on, Amy, and say, I got this awesome recipe for those that want to see it. Here's my, Happy Healthy Sarah page with the link. And then those people can drive over to that like page. But, that like page, like if you have 5,000 people on, how many people are actually on Facebook at that time? How many are actually looking at your page? And how many are actually engaging in your page? It can be very, very small. And people will send those things, oh, I hate my, Facebook is not showing anything, and it's not true. It's just not. If you don't have a lot of comments and likes, it's not going to be pushed back into that Facebook page. So the more questions, like if you go on my personal page, I'm trying to ask more questions to get more involvement so people start to follow me more, because everybody likes to talk about themselves. Go ahead and ask about the flu shot. Your newsfeed will blow up. I asked about, and it was it was a real question, like, when do you talk to your kids about sex ed? Everybody had an answer for that, so just try and get that engagement from your public page. And then once they start to follow you, they may not friend you, but they may want to follow you. Then they'll see, that like page, and you open up a whole bunch of, worms. So it's a good thing.
Okay. And so, are you saying if they follow my personal page that they would automatically see my like page?
Nope. But if you constantly drive them over, so if you post like whatever about, a wedding you went to this weekend, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I found this awesome recipe. Come check out my whatever your page is and attach the link. So you'd put like, you should be able to tag your page on a computer. You can't from a phone. But if you put it on your phone, www.facebook/ mine's Happy Healthy Sarah, the link will generate. Come check out my page for this awesome workout. Okay, I'm struggling with this. Does anyone else struggle with this move? Come check out my workout. So what you're doing is, and once in a while, post that stuff on your personal page too, but you're constantly driving them over to that like page.
Okay, and then to clarify just the thing about friend requesting, because at one point I was just sending all these messages without friend requesting.
Me too.
No responses. But so are you saying that I should do that, but then still go to their page and like write a message on it, and that's how to get their attention to go to their messenger? Is that what you're saying?
You can do either. When the whole, debacle came up that people's pages were getting shut down for friend requesting too much, meaning they had too many open friend requests. I don't know what that number is. It's not 5, it's not 10, it's not 20. But, if you have so many that are open, that's why I always tell, my coaches, keep a list so you can go back and go, okay, did Jess, did Brad, did Sue, did they all accept my request? If they didn't, then I will delete it. So what I've done that's worked better is I will send a message like, hey, Amy, thanks for, liking my Happy Healthy Sarah page. If you ever want to check out one of my challenge groups, I can pop you in for the night. After I do that, if I see a day goes by and I don't know the difference between the blue circle in the check and the open circle in the check, I've tried to look that up. If anybody knows that would be great. But then what I do is I go on their page, and yes, sometimes you can't add them as a friend, and they can't, so then you can't even post on their wall. But I go to their wall and I'm like, hey, Amy, I sent you a message. And half the time when they see it, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the message. It's that personal, because we hide behind these computers, that personal attention to somebody. People love it. They love that recognition and that invite to see what's this all about. You're not just saying, come join my challenge group. You're saying, hey, you want to take a peek at what I do? Is this something that would work for you?
You guys too, one more thing on that is that when you send a friend request and then you're not waiting for them to accept your friend request and just sending a message, that will go into their other box. It won't go to their inbox until they accept your friend request. So I don't even send those messages until I see that they have sent the friend request. It's a lot of cat and mouse chasing. So I just go through, send my friend request every day. And then I go under every day, my recently added new friends. My recently added friends, and I can see who's accepted my friend request. It might be people from the last week, and they all get for me, I do voicemail. So I'm get on my little phone and leave them a voicemail that's less than a minute. Don't talk longer than a minute. And I might be sending like 10 of those voicemails one at a time to those people. And then at the end of the week, if I see that people that I friend requested at the beginning of the week didn't accept my friend request, I delete them. I delete the request. Because if somebody is not going to accept my friend request in a week's time period, then they're probably not going to accept my friend request, and it leaves me space to find more new people.
Yep.
So otherwise, if you send the friend request and then you go right into your message from there without them accepting, it goes to their other folder. And
that's what was happening to me.
Most
That's
people don't
exactly
even
what
know.
was happening. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most people don't even know to check that. So, have a plan so you're not just running all around trying to chase people with your message, and make sure that you're spending your time messaging people that have taken the time to accept your request. So do we have any last questions? There's a bee.
Brad did. Brad's been waving his hand like a white flag. I feel bad.
No, it's fine. I was wondering in regards to duplication of Success Club, when it comes to people, two things. One is people that always pull off Success Club at 5 at the end of the month. There's a bunch of them that always just race the Success Club at the end of the month. Question one is tips on helping them, besides just telling them the obvious of why you need to hustle early in the month and pretend it's the end of the month early to get them to Success Club earlier. And then second question is helping the 5s do 10s and the 10s do more, while also saying all you got to do is hit Success Club every single month. How a balance between dream bigger, but make sure you hit Success Club without shrinking down that urgency. Does that make sense?
I think honestly, Brad, it's set the expectation. Give people some call out. So if you see people continuing to get 8, 9 points, challenge them to get 10. Set a team wide challenge that everybody that hits Success Club 10 by the 15th of this month will be entered in to win a tub of Energize. Something like that. So then that way they see the value. Second thing is lead by example. Speed of the leader, speed of the pack. And if you are crushing Success Club and you're voicing that on your team page and you're sharing what you're doing to hit that, they can easily choose to duplicate it. When they see you pop up on the Success Club banner and they're like, shoot, he's at 15 Success Club points or whatever, they're going to catch up. And if you have people that you're doing that with and they're not following suit, you just got to get out there and find more people. Because some people struggle to get 3 new people a month. Some people can get 3 people in the first week or the first couple days. So I think everybody approaches this business differently. Everybody takes it, different ways. That doesn't even make sense. Everybody takes it a little more serious versus other people. So you really have to lead by example, set the expectation, set the bar higher. So again, in your getting started right call, share. Every month, my goal is to help 5 new people a month. What I do to do that is I set my challenge group date the 3rd week of the month, and I start my event and my invites starting, the last week of the month, and I'm inviting hardcore through that 2nd week. And I set the deadline, the expectation that they have to have their challenge pack ordered by XYZ date. So you give them that plan, like we talked about on Monday's call, that plan for success for the month, but you are totally following that blueprint, and you're showing them by the Success Club points that you're hitting. You're showing them that you're bringing on new coaches because you're welcoming new coaches to your team, and you're raising the bar higher. So always be engaged with your team. What are your goals this month? These are my goals. Maybe nobody posts. I can't even tell you how many times I've done this and it's crickets, and I'm sweet, nobody on my team wants to work the business. Or it's just because just like on our Facebook, not everybody is checking into the team page every day. Those posts can get lost really quickly. So you just have to keep that pace going, share what your invite looks like, and ask them to post below what their invite looks like. So you just kind of keep that conversation going. if you're constantly posting, I've run in this too, that if you are posting so much action in your team page, you overwhelm everybody. So, you know, you don't have to be posting like tons of action. Just share what you're doing. So then when they see that you're at 15 Success Club points, they can go back and be like, oh, he's been inviting to this clean eating challenge group and he's already shared his invite and he shared his to-do list. So what he's doing daily, like if I want to be there, I'll do that.
Awesome.
Hey,
That's
Jesse.
great. Thanks, Jess.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, real quick, and I know you guys are trying to wrap it up. What I have been doing with our team is giving them deadlines, like so basically the 15th is when they want to have hit at least Success 5 or Success 10. So I even put a deadline for myself to want to hit it on the 15th. Maybe that may not happen. That may happen or may not, but I'm really, like, when you set the deadline, you're really going hard to make sure you hit that deadline, just kind of like at the end of the month. So that's my end of the month, the 15th. And then what I do is anybody extra that I have, so after I hit Success Club 10, I'm putting them under my husband because I'm building his business as well. So so what I have my team is doing the same thing and showing them, hey, hit the Success Club 10 by the 15th. And everybody pretty much has that deadline that they are really pushing hard to. So it won't be like, oh, I'll just wait around. And then at the end of the month, you know, you haven't hit anything. So even if you haven't hit Success Club 10, you've hit what, Success Club 5, 6, or whatever. So that's been very helpful. And then one of the other things that we do, we have an accountability kind of group where we show our invites. So we basically screenshot our invites for the day. So for me, I'll screenshot like, hey, I have 10 invites that I did today and follow-ups. What are you guys doing? They'll screenshot their 10 or 15 invites and follow up. So we do that daily to keep each other accountable. And that's been very helpful because then you know that you're consistently showing up, consistently building your business, and they're consistently hitting Success Club 10 or Success Club 6.
I love that. I don't know your name. It just says iPad.
Shalita.
Shalita, that's awesome because here's the thing too, with what the example she just gave, is she is showing who is going to have that engagement on the team page. And then you know who to work with. Because guys, as I tell my team, don't chase the people that aren't willing. Don't get mad if people are not willing to put the time in. Because then, you know, just like Jess said about the inviting, it's a cat and mouse game. These people that say, no, I really do want to hit it. And then you work with them and they never hit it. What she's doing is she's showing that who's going to be involved and who do I need to work with and who's actually showing up. That is your meat and potatoes of your team because they have that. So to have that, you know, those names, you know exactly who to work with. So I like that. That's a great idea.
Thanks.
I've got a few simple things that aren't mind-blowing, but I know they just add recognition to as the fourth vital behavior. So any opportunity to do check-ins on a leaderboard, I pay my assistant to do one on the 15th. You know, people like to see their names there. It's something simple. It kind of lights a fire under them. At the end of the month, I've been having my assistant make our team's Success Club leaderboard, but also do one for everyone on the board, and it takes her 3 additional boards. So I post the big leaderboard with everyone that hit publicly, and then the other 3 I post to the team page and have them all tag each other and say, look at what you guys did. You made Success Club happen. You made the point happen. All we need to do is figure out how we can do more of those behaviors. So really encourage them to see that they have what it takes. They just need to do a little bit more of the same thing that they did to make that 1 point or 2 points happen. So recognizing that, I dish out some tough love. Hey, here's a leader who's telling you what I do every single month. If you really want this, here's what I'm doing, you know? And so I've done things like post a thread that I'm just available throughout the day to pop in. What are you struggling with? How can I help you hit Success Club? So they feel like they have access to you. What I've learned from Jess that I love is she does those masterminds. Offer yourself up 2 hours throughout the week and see who gets on, you know, and then you're working with those people. So while I think we can help kind of try to shove those people into whatever's holding them back from that 6th point or that 10th point or going for 15, it's also seeing who like everyone that's showing up here and seeing who's not here, you know, like really still focus your energy there. And I think try to do those swiping, like big things you can do that can touch your downline or touch your entire PS group, so that then you can see kind of who rises up. Another really cool idea that I got from, I think, Brittany Leggett, was that she makes a leaderboard for Success Club for whatever time throughout the month you want to do. Say it's on the 15th. Post it to your PS page. Tell them to tag their someone that they want to hold them accountable, and tell each other what their goals are for that week or for that month. You know, so hey girl, I've got 4 points. I'm tagging so-and-so. It takes away the job for you to have to sit and tag everyone in the comments. And it's kind of cool. You see everyone's like, all right, so-and-so, here's what my goals, what are your goals? You know, and then they all kind of interact in the comments. And that's been kind of fun, because as a leader, we don't feel like we're like, hey, so-and-so, hey, so-and-so, hey, so-and-so, where are you at? Where are you at? Ask them to tag a buddy and tell them what their goals are, and ask them what their goals are. And again, just any fun like challenge you can do to get them focused on behaviors instead of the result. You know, what are more behaviors that we could be doing? Even if it's not just inviting, doing some bingo sheet. I know Jen Richardson's told me, and I need to pick her brain a little bit, that, you know, she has the threes, right? There's something for threes. She does the challenge where each month the team just has somewhere where they're checking in on those vitals, where it's not just Success Club being recognized. It's recognizing that we don't have control at the end of the day over what people say, but we have control over how many more conversations we can start through posting, through inviting, you know, in whatever ways, you know, working. Yeah, and then just sharing, obviously, tips about what you're doing, what's helping you that day. But that leaderboard tagging people was kind of a mind blown for me when I heard Brittany share that. So maybe that can help you guys get everyone kind of, helps to get them out there and have, you know, other people seeing their goals and holding them accountable. So it's not just your job.
We did. I think that's awesome. That I like the posting mid-month, the banner, and then tagging people for accountability. That's amazing too. Super simple. Something for me that's kind of more of like my love language, and is I love to give. And when it was the year before last, I really wanted to duplicate Success Club and be able to do something or offer some sort of challenge and be able to give to them. And I did it for the whole downline. And I stopped it when it got to be like complete chaos. Let me just put it there. But in our big team page, I would create the banner, and I would put, like, if you hit Success Club 10 and add 3 new coaches, you will receive XYZ. If you hit Success Club 5 and add 2 new coaches, you will receive XYZ. So I set the bar higher. It wasn't just 5 and 10, but they had to add 2 new coaches. I don't care if they were discount coaches or not. And then I did like PD. Actually a lot of it was PD. And I made the Success Club 10 plus 3 new coaches something like super awesome. Because I was willing to do more for those people if they were willing to put more effort in. And then Success Club 5 with the 2 new coaches might be like the Jim Rohn audio. You can go onto his website. They're like $2 or $3 a CD. Awesome network marketing CD. If you haven't listened to it, it's an awesome little prize for your coaches. And it's easy to mail. You don't have to put it in a box or do anything like that. And what that did was it motivate, even if people aren't motivated by a challenge or by a prize, they want to participate. They want to belong. They want to see that their name is up there. And so that worked really well. And then what it taught, because I did it month after month after month, and I did it for probably, I don't know, I would probably say like 9 months out of that year consistently. Maybe it was the full year. But what it did was, even if people didn't see the value in Success Club, when they had that goal of like, oh, I can win that, like, or want to be recognized for winning that, they started doing that month after month. And then they started seeing their paycheck growing. Then they started getting more recognition. Then they started hitting rank. Then they started tagging their coaches like, hey, look, you have the opportunity to win XYZ. if you hit Success Club, if you help 3 people this month, like, let's do this together. So it's kind of like what she was talking about, the banner, but there was a reward behind it. And it helped the downline recognize the importance of hitting Success Club. Now, at some point you have to, know when that works well for you. Right now, if I did that for the whole downline, I would live at the post office. But it's totally duplicatable at whatever level, whatever budget you have. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. It's the whole idea is there's something to go for. There's something more for them to be challenged by. And that worked really well for us. And it was kind of fun to figure out, like, okay, what can I do this upcoming month? What can I do? And just kind of listening to what your team is struggling with and what your team needs help with, and kind of focus that around the PD. And it could even be like, you could offer like a 30-minute mastermind at XYZ time to your downline, that you're going to bring 3 tips on how to master, emerald duplication. And whoever hits Success Club 5 and adds 2 new coaches gets to be a part of that. Like, they get this special pass, this VIP pass for that. So technically it doesn't even have to cost you anything. But people in your downline are like super hungry for your time, so that could be very valuable. So that was something that worked for me. And, you could choose to duplicate that. You could choose not to. It's totally what works for you. But that worked really well for me in helping my coaches hit Success Club and see the value. And when you're consistent with that, they start being consistent with it, because they start seeing the difference that it makes in their business.
I think it's important, real quick, like, I know as a new leader, and I have some of my new leaders say this, that it's kind of, it hurts it's a sacrifice to put some of that money back into your business, but you have to think about other businesses and the money that people put in and reinvest in their business, so if you're having those $100 weeks as a new diamond or new star diamond, just realizing the importance of doing things like Jess talked about and investing back into your team with part of what you're making, because it pays back tenfold. Mm-hmm. I found some Nikes. Brandy Botts had shared with some of us girls, what she was doing for her 2015, 2016 coaches. And if they hit Success Club for 3 months in a row, they could get a pair of these Nikes. They're like the confetti ones, and they're $50 on this website. And so when you think about, man, if I have a coach hitting Success Club for 3 months, is $50 a good investment? And you can find what's comfortable for you. But when you think about what that means in terms of the momentum in their business and the chances that then they'll continue to go on and hit Success Club, it's worth the investment. So start small. Jess gave you guys some great ideas, but I think you have to just really release and invest in your team, knowing that it's going to come back. And then one day you'll be dropping buckets on a retreat, and you'll be like, glad you're doing that too. But for now, you can do the little stuff, and it does matter. They get something to post on social media, and then it just continues to they're like, look at that community that person's a part of. They got something cool for doing something great, helping people. And then that attracts more people to their business. So give to your team. It's so important to do those fun things for them. For sure.
And even just the notes. I know a lot of people do this, and I am such a slacker on it. My team's going to nod. But, those notes for Success Club, that's something I'm trying to work on, just to say thank you. Really, it does go a long way. The recognition, I never realized how important it was to my team until I started doing it. So, I've switched mine all around, from Amazon gift cards to Target gift cards to, all that stuff. I love what Jess and Stephanie said, but at this time I want to do wear and share. What a great investment. They're gonna wear it. It's gonna be visible at their head. So just find what works for you, and especially if this is your full-time job, like, you're not really buying clothes to go to work. This is the investment that you have to do. If you started a restaurant, you wouldn't wait to make an investment, or you wouldn't make an investment probably for a couple of years. So I know that's hard, because we just want to. Cool, we're earning money and we hate to give it back, but it really does. It's that karma effect. What you give out comes back to you. Plus, you're teaching your team to do it for their team, and it's just a happy-go-lucky circle from there. So we've covered a lot.
Yeah, but we're double time. So
yeah.
You guys, we are going to go ahead and end this call, and then I'll post the recording up, and then stay tuned. So next Monday, we will be back on for our week number 2, which I believe is recruiting business builders. Am I right, ladies?
Time management. Time management.
Oh, time management. See?
I'm going to crack the whip.
Got to check with your buddies. Okay, so time management, which we needed a little bit more on this call, clearly. So, but awesome, you guys. We covered a lot of great stuff. I'll post the recording up next Monday. Mark in your calendars, 11:30. Check the events page in the Mastermind group for next week's time management. So that is Miss Sarah Gobb and her event. And you guys have an awesome, awesome weekend, you guys. Thanks so much.